On December 10, 1967, Otis Redding, the iconic soul singer, tragically lost his life in a plane crash. Redding, along with his band, the Diaries, was en route to a concert in Madison, Wisconsin, aboard a Beechcraft H-18 aircraft. The weather conditions were poor, with heavy rain and fog reducing visibility. As the plane approached Madison, it crashed into the icy waters of Lake Monona at approximately 3:28 p.m. The cause of the crash was not definitively determined, though it is believed that the adverse weather and possible pilot inexperience contributed to the disaster. Otis Redding, just 26 years old, perished along with 6 others. The sole survivor was Ben Colley, the Diaries trumpet player, who managed to cling to a seat cushion until he was rescued. The loss of Redding, who had recently recorded the iconic song, "Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay," sent shockwaves through the music world, cutting short a promising career and leaving an indelible mark on soul music. His posthumous single became his only #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100, cementing his legacy as a legend of soul music. Otis Ray Redding Jr. was born on September 9, 1941, in Dawson, Georgia. The son of Otis Redding Sr., a sharecropper, and Fannie Mae Redding, a housewife, Otis was one of 6 children in a family that faced significant economic hardship. Growing up in a segregated South, he experienced the harsh realities of racism and poverty firsthand, which would later influence the emotional depth and authenticity of his music. Redding's family moved to Macon, Georgia, when he was 3. It was in Macon that Redding's musical journey truly began. His father found work at Robins Air Force Base, providing a slightly more stable income for the family. Despite this, they remained poor, and young Otis took on various odd jobs to help support his family. From an early age, he showed a keen interest in music, inspired by the gospel sounds of his local church, the Vineville Baptist Church, where he sang in the choir. During his teenage years, Redding's talent for singing became increasingly apparent. He attended Ballard Hudson High School, where he participated in the school's band. However, his family's financial struggles forced him to drop out at age 15. Determined to support his family and pursue his passion for music, Redding began performing in local talent shows. His big break came when he won a talent contest at the historic Douglas Theater in Macon, earning a $5 prize and the encouragement he needed to continue his musical pursuits. Redding's early musical influences included gospel, blues, and R&B. He was particularly inspired by artists like Sam Cooke and Little Richard. In fact, Redding's first professional gig was with Little Richard's band, the Upsetters, where he played piano and occasionally sang. This experience exposed him to the rigors of touring and performing, setting the stage for his future success. Otis Redding's journey to stardom was marked by a combination of talent, perseverance, and a bit of luck. His big break came in 1962 when he accompanied guitarist Johnny Jenkins to a recording session at Stax Records in Memphis. Jenkins' session ended earlier than expected, and Redding seized the opportunity to record 2 songs, Hey Hey Baby and These Arms of Mine. The latter, a soulful ballad, impressed Stax executives Jim Stewart and Estelle Axton, leading to a contract with the label. These Arms of Mine was released in October 1962 and became a moderate hit, reaching number 20 on the R&B charts. This initial success marked the beginning of Redding's fruitful partnership with Stax Records. Over the next few years, he released a series of hits that showcased his raw, emotive vocal style and heartfelt lyrics. Songs like Pain in My Heart, Mr. Pitiful, and I've Been Loving You Too Long resonated with audiences, earning Redding a reputation as one of the leading soul singers of his time. Redding's success was not limited to the recording studio. His energetic and charismatic live performances captivated audiences, further solidifying his status as a star. He was known for his powerful stage presence and the emotional intensity of his performances, which often left audiences spellbound. Redding's ability to connect with his listeners on a deep emotional level was a key factor in his rise to fame. In 1965, Redding released the album Otis Blue, Otis Redding Sings Soul, which is considered one of his greatest works. The album included some of his most famous songs, such as Respect, later made even more famous by Aretha Franklin, and I've Been Loving You Too Long. Otis Blue was a commercial success and received critical acclaim, solidifying Redding's place in the pantheon of soul music legends. By the mid-1960s, Redding had become a major star in the United States and was gaining international recognition. He toured extensively, performing at venues across the country and in Europe. His performance at the Monterey Pop Festival in 1967 is widely regarded as one of the highlights of his career. The festival, which featured a diverse lineup of artists, introduced Redding to a broader audience and helped to bridge the gap between black and white music fans. Despite his professional success, Otis Redding faced numerous personal challenges throughout his life. The racial tensions of the 1960s were a constant backdrop to his career. As an African-American artist, Redding encountered discrimination and segregation, particularly when touring in the South. Many venues were segregated, and black artists were often subjected to substandard treatment. Despite these challenges, Redding remained determined to share his music with the world. Financially, Redding, like many black artists of his time, faced exploitation. Contracts were often skewed in favor of record companies, leaving artists with only a fraction of the earnings from their work. Although Redding achieved significant success, he had to work tirelessly to provide for his family and secure his financial future. He performed up to 300 concerts a year, a grueling schedule that took a toll on his health. Redding's intense work schedule also led to physical and emotional exhaustion. The demands of constant touring and recording left little time for rest and recovery. He suffered from vocal strain and other health issues, but he remained committed to his craft. Despite these struggles, Redding continued to produce music that touched the hearts of millions. Beyond the stage and studio, Otis Redding's personal life was characterized by his deep love for his family and a strong sense of community. He married Zelma Atwood in 1961, and together they had 4 children: Dexter, Carla, Otis III, and Demetria. Redding was a devoted husband and father, often speaking about his family with great affection. His success in the music industry was driven not only by his passion for music, but also by his desire to provide a better life for his loved ones. Redding's commitment to his family extended to his broader community as well. He was known for his generosity and willingness to help others. In his hometown of Macon, Georgia, he invested in local businesses and supported various community initiatives. He purchased a 300-acre ranch in Round Oak, Georgia, which became a place of refuge and relaxation for him and his family. The ranch also served as a symbol of Redding's success and his ability to overcome the challenges he faced growing up. Despite his fame and success, Redding remained humble and grounded. He never forgot his roots and the struggles he endured to achieve his dreams. His authenticity and genuine nature endeared him to fans and colleagues alike. He was often described as a kind and down-to-earth individual, always willing to lend a helping hand or share a kind word. The final moments of Otis Redding's life are a poignant and tragic chapter in the history of soul music, reflecting the fragility of life and the abrupt end to a promising career. On December 10, 1967, Redding, just 26 years old, boarded a Beechcraft H-18 airplane along with his band, the Barkays, bound for a concert in Madison, Wisconsin. The weather that day was far from ideal, with heavy rain and fog enveloping the flight path, creating hazardous conditions that would ultimately lead to disaster. Redding had just recorded "Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay," a song that would become his most iconic posthumous hit. His career was on an upward trajectory, marked by soulful hits and a growing influence in the music industry. The flight from Cleveland, Ohio, was supposed to be a routine journey, but the weather had other plans. As the plane approached the Madison area, the visibility worsened, and the pilot, Richard Fraser, had to navigate through dense fog and heavy rain. According to accounts, the Beechcraft H-18 was flying at a dangerously low altitude as it neared its destination. Witnesses later reported seeing the aircraft struggling in the adverse weather conditions, an ominous sign of the trouble that lay ahead. At approximately 3:28 p.m., the plane crashed into the icy waters of Lake Monona, just a few miles short of the Madison airport. The crash was sudden and violent, causing the aircraft to break apart upon impact. In the chaos that ensued, Ben Cauley, the trumpet player for the Barkays and the sole survivor, provided a harrowing account of the final moments. Cauley recalled hearing a loud bang as the plane descended, followed by the terrifying realization that they were crashing. He managed to unbuckle his seatbelt and grab a seat cushion, which he used as a flotation device. The icy waters of Lake Monona were a stark contrast to the warm and vibrant life he had just left behind. Clinging to the cushion, Cauley struggled to stay afloat amidst the wreckage and the freezing temperatures. The rescue efforts were swift, but for Redding and 6 others, it was too late. Otis Redding, guitarist Jimmy King, tenor saxophonist Phelan Jones, organist Ronnie Caldwell, drummer Carl Cunningham, and the pilot Richard Fraser all perished in the crash. The loss was profound, not just for their families and friends but for the music world as a whole. Redding was on the brink of a new phase in his career, one that promised even greater artistic achievements and broader recognition. In the immediate aftermath, the news of Redding's death spread quickly, sending shockwaves through the community of fans, musicians, and industry professionals. The circumstances of his passing added a layer of tragedy to an already heartbreaking loss. Redding had been a beacon of hope and inspiration, a young artist who had overcome significant obstacles to achieve success. His death was a stark reminder of the unpredictability of life and the ever-present shadow of mortality. The investigation into the crash revealed little in terms of definitive causes. The adverse weather conditions were a clear factor, but there was also speculation about pilot error and potential mechanical issues. The Civil Aeronautics Board, CAB, conducted an inquiry, but the exact sequence of events that led to the crash remained unclear. This lack of closure only deepened the sense of loss and confusion surrounding Redding's death. In the weeks following the crash, tributes to Otis Redding poured in from all corners of the globe. Fellow musicians, including those who had been influenced by his work, spoke of his talent, his generosity, and his unfulfilled potential. The release of "Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay" in January 1968 became both a celebration of his legacy and a poignant reminder of what had been lost. The song's reflective tone and haunting melody resonated deeply with listeners, securing its place as one of the defining tracks of Redding's career. Redding's funeral was held on December 18, 1967, in Macon, Georgia, where thousands of mourners gathered to pay their respects. The service was a somber occasion, filled with music, memories, and an overwhelming sense of grief. Redding was laid to rest at his family estate, the Big O Ranch, in Round Oak, Georgia. His grave became a pilgrimage site for fans and admirers, a place where they could connect with the spirit of an artist who had touched so many lives. The legacy of Otis Redding lives on through his music, which continues to inspire and move audiences around the world. His influence can be heard in the work of countless artists across genres, from rock and soul to hip-hop and R&B. The annual Otis Redding Music Festival in Macon, Georgia, celebrates his contributions and keeps his memory alive for new generations of fans. The tragic end to his life serves as a powerful reminder of the fleeting nature of fame and the enduring power of artistic expression. The sudden and tragic nature of Otis Redding's death adds a layer of poignancy to his story. At just 26 years old, Redding was on the cusp of even greater success, with his career trajectory pointing towards continued innovation and influence in music. The circumstances of his passing, an airplane crash amidst adverse weather conditions, underscore the fragility of life and the unpredictable twists of fate that can alter the course of history in an instant. Ben Colley, the sole survivor of the crash, provided a harrowing account of the final moments, highlighting the chaos and confusion that ensued. Colley's survival and subsequent recounting of the events offer a glimpse into the tragedy that claimed the lives of Redding and his bandmates. The loss of such a vibrant and talented group of musicians left a void in the music world, one that is still felt to this day. As we conclude this reflection on the life and legacy of Otis Redding, it's clear that his contributions to music and culture extend far beyond his years. Redding's ability to infuse his songs with genuine emotion and his dedication to his craft have left an indelible mark on the world. His music continues to be a source of comfort, inspiration, and joy for countless fans, and his influence can be heard in the work of artists across generations. Otis Redding's story is one of triumph and tragedy, a narrative that speaks to the heights of human achievement and the depths of loss. His life reminds us of the power of music to transcend boundaries, to connect people across different backgrounds and experiences, and to leave a lasting impact that endures beyond our time. As we listen to his timeless recordings, we remember not just the artist but the man who poured his heart and soul into every note. In remembering Otis Redding, we honor the legacy of a true musical pioneer, a man whose voice continues to resonate with a powerful message of love, pain, hope, and resilience. His music, a raw and authentic expression of the human experience, transcended boundaries and touched the hearts of millions. Redding's collaboration with Stax Records proved to be a pivotal moment in his career. His powerful interpretations of songs like "Respect" and "I Can't Turn You Loose" showcased his vocal prowess and earned him the title King of Soul. His music was a reflection of the turbulent times, a voice for the oppressed and a beacon of hope for those seeking solace. His legacy lives on through his music, which continues to inspire and influence generations of artists. The impact of Otis Redding's music is immeasurable. His songs have been covered by countless artists, from Aretha Franklin to the Beatles, and his influence can be heard in every corner of the music industry. His ability to connect with audiences on a profound level is a testament to his enduring artistry. Beyond his musical genius, Redding was a man of deep compassion and empathy. His music was a reflection of his own struggles and triumphs, and his honesty resonated with listeners on a personal level. His songs offered comfort, inspiration, and a sense of belonging to those who felt lost or alone. As we celebrate the life and work of Otis Redding, let us remember the power of music to heal, to inspire, and to unite. His legacy is a reminder that even in the face of adversity, the human spirit can soar to extraordinary heights. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's keep the music of Otis Redding alive for generations to come.